I believe my thing was taken again. Hello. That's to, it is gorgeous outside and everything. So I was hoping it would be like, a lot of light coming through the window, but I guess it's the time of year. Hmm. 2 seconds. I'm coming back over there. I'm looking for my lighter because it keeps going missing, and it usually has to do with my teenager. Um. Mhm. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I won't have it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go buy a bunch more and hide them. Hey guys. Hey guys. Sorry. I was looking for my lighter, and it's like a daily occurrence anymore where my child comes in here and takes my stuff. Okay. Mhm. So we're going to ignore this beautiful stain that my 6-year-old pointed out to me this morning. Mama, that's where you dropped your hot dog. It wasn't a hot dog. It was lasagna. And I was going outside, so I went outside and walked at the springs today because today the high is going to be 65 and tomorrow the high is going to be 39. That's just the way it is where I live. Just saying. We are also going to be using water today for the divination because I got to go get more candles, which I've been wanting to add in the water element anyways because that is what electrifies me more than anything. So there you go. Alrighty, so the only thing that came through before I got on was I just kept saying the details. The details. I was like, okay, I don't know what's about to like where they're gonna go with that or whatever. And I was like, I'll put it on there. It might change. In fact, this weekend I got to go through the last 10 lives and put a real title on that shit because I just go, grab your cup of coffee, let's go. So anyway, so yeah, there we go. How's everybody doing? Well, and I usually don't wash my sweatshirts. I wear them a couple of times, you know what I'm saying, beforehand. And so in my closet is like basket of dirty and a basket of clean, and the clean's not folded yet. And so I was like, oh, my sweatshirt. It must have been the dirty basket because I'm just, need to pay attention a little more. But oh well, y'all have been seeing me au natural way more than you have. At least I have showered. Okay. At least I've showered and stuff. Um, but anywho, yeah, there we go. So, all right. Oh, really? Okay. My matcha. Don't ask me where the little everything is just like misplaced right now. That has to be a theme because like this morning it's like, where's this? Where's this? Like a oh, I get it. The details. Like I was just about to say, like one tiny detail of everything. Like I got my cup. I got the matcha. I'm good. I had the ice to make it. I had the proper milk to make it. Like I had some of it, but a tiny detail is missing, right? Um, got candles. I've got all kinds of stuff. No lighter. Where's the lighter? Like shit. Are you shitting me? Really? I've got my cleansing tools. Like just one little detail missing in order for the whole thing to work. And that might be the thing today. Like that might be the reason why I said the details, because it was just like all day. Like this morning. So I wanted to go for a walk around the springs, but it rained last night. But it's beautiful right now. And so I knew it was going to be super slushy and muddy and goopy. And I was like, I don't want to wear my tennis shoes out there. So I go looking for my boots. You want to tell me my water boots, like rain boots, water boots, that you can wear in the creek and stuff like that. You want to tell me why I could find one? I looked everywhere in here. I went outside because I keep a lot of stuff in my trunk because I always want to be prepared if I find like nature that I want to go in. And I look at my trunk, it's nowhere. it's the kind of thing where like probably 2 weeks from now, it'll just be sitting somewhere. Like I've been passing it a million years and like just do. And I'm like, did you enjoy your trip to the other dimension? Boot. So I have one boot. Like all morning when I tell you a tiny, like one little thing missing. So it's so funny that I almost said one little tiny detail missing. So there you go. That's probably what the details. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's funny, Spirit. Where are we going from here then? Okay. So okay. I feel like this, but for some reason, I don't know if I'm supposed to start with that though. Why does this feel too broad? Like maybe you're in your pursuit of trying to actualize something, you're paying attention, you're trying to get your ducks in a row, you know? And it's like because you're in the Queen of Swords energy, eagle eye view, you're like, okay, I got this. There's one little detail, a tiny little detail that you're missing because you kind of need to hone in. Because I keep wanting to come over to the more specific cards. But when I'm over here, I feel like this is maybe this is going to impact your ability to execute something. Like I know I should start, but I feel like I can't start. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I feel like I'm being drawn to do this. Like a part of me wants to go no over here. I'm questioning whether this is going to give me the like. Do we really want to start with that though? It's got me over here immobile. Where are you at? Wait. We need to get a tribe name. I love you guys. A tribe name. I guess this is going to give me a view of what you're looking at right now. And these will help us to know where Spirit says you need to hone in on because there's a detail missing. I wonder if the detail's here. And maybe the reason you don't, okay. They just said stop. I'm getting ahead of myself, apparently. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh. Damn. Okay. Give me a second, guys. So we have an even number on each side of a center card. Y'all know I don't really do like spreads per se. I have weird ways that I read cards. But the one thing that seems consistent is when there's a middle card and there's an even number on each side, that's what gives you a middle card. Like it has to be a true center card. It can't be like, oh, there's three and there's one of them in the middle. No, it has to be the absolute center card. It is the overall energy. So I ask them, I'm like, oh, is this healing or is this guidance? And they're like both. You're being guided to something that's healing. Got the star card. Okay, they're pointing out something here. I'm getting slight magician vibes from it, but more like not magician as in I have all my resources. This is more like I've got like some kind of magical something in me. Like, that is not where I was gonna go. I was trying to say there's an element to you that is kind of like your superpower, and they're like je ne sais quoi, and I'm like it interrupted my own freaking thoughts in my head. I'm like, so you have a je ne sais quoi? I don't even know if I'm fucking saying that right. So if anybody is from France, my apologies. Okay. I am not trying to butcher it. I grew up in the United States. We have a very weird way of enunciating shit. So, and you know how it is, it get in the way. So my bad. My bad. Because there is a sense, okay, first off, take a look at her. Those little lightning bolts right here are coming out of her fingertips. They're coming out the finger. Let me cover the tatas up because, I don't know, YouTube. But they're coming. There we go. See, they're coming out of her finger. And look, she's got some kind of a crown on that's attached to the star. So it's almost like you have a direct connection with spirit. Like there is like, whatever this is, whatever is being channeled, this direction and guidance being channeled to you is completely 100% being connected to your crown. It's coming through clear, crystal clear is what they just said. It's like those moments where you're like, there's a difference between feeling you have an intuitive hit and like you just had a fucking epiphany, a download from spirit. It's like, oh, like just something lands. And I'm also taking a look at like, we're gonna cover the tatas up again just a little bit because it's early in the live. Maybe later in the live we can get away with it, but I'm just saying right now. Okay, so take a look right here. She's got like those thigh highs with something attached. You know those garter belts to hold something up, and then she's got like all this jewelry. This is actually jewelry. It's not her innards. That's not her. I know it looks like squiggly lines from away, but that's like those people who wear it's a type of fashion where they wear like they'll have like the leather belt that goes here and it goes over, and it's like I think some people call it a jumper, but that's clothing to me. Like, like it has like those little, or like those chains that hang around here. It's very decorative. It's like a decorative piece, right? An accent. But it's all over like her lower chakras, which would be like your earthbound chakras, the things that are of this existence, right? That's the way that I liken them. Okay, I am not a perfect person to teach you about chakras. Okay, I put pieces of information together from all different types of sources, and that's how I make sense of this world. Okay, so that's putting that out there. PSA. Because I'm getting like it's like starts at the root. It does something to her sacral. There's something. So this is a download that's coming in specifically for something very earthbound. I know that sounds really weird. Okay, let's get here. Okay, you're getting direct. Whoever this is for is going to get a direct download on what to do in their 3D life, their physical life, their material world, okay, that somehow ties up all three of those things. So let's think about that. We've got a root chakra, which is your stability, your groundedness, your sense of foundation, being rooted in this existence. So there we go. It's something rooted in this plane of existence. And so, because sometimes we get downloads and it's more about like nothing that has anything to do with the world or the life that we're living. Sacral is going to be I'm getting that's her powerhouse. Like that's your the center of the feminine, right? That's the center of creation. That's the center of sexuality, sensuality. That's the powerhouse of the feminine energy. And then there's the why am I blanking? Don't tell me, because I fucking know this. Rude. Maybe whatever you're overlooking has something to do. Solar. What the fuck? I swear to God. What? That, oh, so your solar plexus. Good God. Which is really your willpower, your determination, your confidence, right? Like that's where that's centered. So something that has to do that impacts or affects all of those. All righty. So now that we've gotten through that, I might have put a little bit too much matcha in my matcha tea. Just gonna throw that one out there because I got the culinary grade because I didn't have my other one, and that might be it. I guess it's more potent. I don't know. It's still good, but it means business. So let's take a look. Funny enough, normally I would read these two and these two, but that's not how it's working out because flanking the 3 center cards, right, are 2 5s. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups with the 5 of Swords. 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords, which is, it's almost like, okay, I still don't okay. Anywho, so we all know what the 5 of Cups is. It's paying attention to all the things that have fucking gone wrong. It's having enough things go wrong that sometimes it preoccupies your energy. Like it may impact your energy, and you may have spent time in this where you have really you're like, it may impact how you move forward, right? Something may impact. Oh, they just said premonition too on this one, which makes sense. Premonition would be a download that will eventuate or actuate, or is that a word? I make up words here. Will actualize in your 3D world. Okay. Alrighty. So 5 of Cups, spending that time looking at all the things that went wrong instead of what could potentially go right. And maybe being stuck in the energy of shit always goes wrong. So voila, I'm just going to assume everything goes wrong. And they're like, but you're looking at the past. You haven't even turned around to look at your future, which is the 2 cups behind you. And coinkadinkly, right next to the 5 of Cups was the Lovers. So you are assuming somehow that you're looking into the future, or you refuse to see the potential of the future because you're busy looking at the past or being reminded of the past, or you're turned around and you're projecting into the future what has already happened. That 5 of Cups energy, focusing on the negative and assuming that pattern is going to continue, or maybe just that you're not interested in something in the future because of what's happened in the past, which can still be the energy of the 5 of Cups, still focusing on what went wrong, right? This has something to do with love for anybody who's wanting to know. I can tell you right now. And normally I would try to do the whole let's try to make this fit for all the different areas. And I'm like, this is love. Just saying. Giving you a heads up in case you're like, oh, I don't want to hear about love. I'm not going to torture you and make you stick around. Okay. Or romance, connection, things like that. Like that's partnery stuff. So, okay. So just so that you're aware, right next to the Five of Cups is the Lovers. So obviously, it's almost like trying to project onto something where this energy, like you're stuck here. They're like, well, if you would just turn around, what you're seeing, feeling, or assuming will happen is what happened in the past. You need to pivot because your future has something different, right? That's the way that I'm taking it. And over here we have the Five of Swords, which is like this conflicting thoughts, conflicting beliefs, conflicting truths within one's own mind, right? It's like there are truths that X, Y, and Z can happen. I know because it's a lived experience. I have fucking experienced it, spirit. So you can't tell me that shit's not a potentiality because it is a truth. It's the truth that there's a lot of people out there that don't are willing to lie when they enter into a relationship. There's a truth when that some people will present one way and who they truly are doesn't come out until months later. It's a truth that there are people who will say one thing and when they get into a relationship they do another. And there's people who will cheat. And like, it's all true. It's all fucking true, right? But the truth of the matter is also that you believe in love, that you believe there are also people out there who have the same alignment when it comes to a relationship, who are integral, who you know uh, uh, are in alignment. Like it's not that it's beyond you to believe that. So that's another truth, right? But another truth that you have is that they're just not here. Those spirit, I know they don't live here. They're not near me. Like I just know it to be true in all of my knowingness that they're probably somewhere at a distance, and so the likelihood of me meeting them. Like there's all kinds of truths swirling around, fighting and battling it out in your head. Because the swords, that's where it lives. That's the realm of the thought process, right? Okay. And what happened? What like so? It's like your belief system, your thoughts around love in and of itself. So obviously, there's a focus. Like your energy is one that's like maybe not hopeful. Five of Cups, right? The energy is not hopeful, and your mind may not be completely made up. Like, what if it's like yeah, I believe it can happen, but also another truth. The fifth one is that I'm not desiring it right now. What are you not desiring? What's the card right next to the Five of Swords? The thing that you're so fucking confused about, that you have like multiple different thought processes on and truths that you're trying to, and it's like, and you're not making any progress because they're all battling one another, right? Ace of Cups. Two different things. Just love in and of itself. Self-love, love of another, connection, all that kind of stuff. That's where you're up in your head. So the thing that's coloring the Lovers and the Ace of Cups, which is true, genuine self-love, but also it's like you stepping out with your cup full, willing to share that with another. And the Lovers is all about alignment. Two things being in alignment with one another of the same energetic frequency. And so it's one of those things where it's like that's where these energies are surrounding this, okay? And that's the center point of your premonition. Because around the star card is, and again, first it was like it's both. It's almost as if being guided to something because you were getting some direct fucking downloads for something that's going to manifest in your world because it has a direct connection to the lower chakras, right? And that there's a sense of, and that might be why they say je ne sais quoi, I don't know. There is this sense of power within you. I don't know who this is for. I'm getting some interruptive things. Your touch is healing, or touch period is healing. Somebody not been touched for a little bit, or hasn't been touched in a way that is healing. Something about healing and touch. Okay, guys, I'm moving on. So for this to surround the star card, it's literally like You probably, okay, so you've gotten, okay. If you've received a direct download that you've always believed to be very true, right? Or maybe you're receiving a series of downloads, a series of premonitions, because that's how it happens, right? We get chunks of stuff, and so you kind of know some things, but despite having that, like, and they're really adamant that something about a premonition has come through that's very crystal clear because you are hella connected. Like, there's no distance between the star on this and her crown, period. But you're like either doubting it, or maybe you're just like, you received this download and you're like, at one point you may have cared and now you don't. You're like, Spirit, I kind of feel like I've witnessed this and experienced this enough, and I just don't really fucking know if I want it right now. Sorry. You probably hear it. You probably know Spirit saying something, and you're like, I don't want it. Not to be mean, but I don't want it. Like, you may be, God, wouldn't that be the fucking shit? Something you may have once really wanted is coming close, and you're like, we've talked about this before. You can get to the point where it's like you've been so good on your own and so whatever that you're just like, You ever have Spirit tell you something and you're like, okay, like you couldn't give two shits less, but there's no negative feelings against it, although maybe that's the thing. It's like maybe Spirit's like, you're projecting, we want you to take a look at that. But I'm not feeling a anger, towards Spirit on this. This isn't like one of those, kind of thing. It's just like, if this is what it feels like. Spirit's like, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't even excite me through it. Like, like let's say Spirit came down. Let's say your Spirit came down and had a conversation with you and was like, okay, so this is going to happen. And you're like, but what if, like, it's like a switch. I can't just turn it on. Like, what if I'm like, I'm not excited by it. And if it happens, I don't know if I'm not drawn to it. Like, I'm Spirit, right? I'm coming down, having a conversation. And you're like, I don't know. I don't think I want it. I don't feel drawn to it. And you're like, what do I do? Okay. Also, I don't know why this might play out at some point. Because, well, this may, okay. I got Healing Touch with the Star card, but over here, take a look at this dude. His hands are where on the feminine? Her center, okay? The center, the seat of her femininity, like her powerhouse, her sacral. And there's all kinds of bees and honey. Like, that's the, I said this, I heard bee's knees. Come the fuck on. What in the actual fuck? Like, there's just, and it's just dripping from her face. It's like, look at that lustful, like, holy shit. Like, there's something there to be had. And I want you to see at the bottom of the Ace of Cups, they've got a lotus flower. And we all know that the lotus blooms from mud. And it's literally of this, so cliche, and I don't know why they want to say it, but they want you to know this from this history of whatever, from this place of, I don't know if I even want it, I don't feel drawn to it. Spirit came down themselves and sat in front of me and said, I'm going to get this. And I wasn't like, woo, like nothing. Like, I felt nothing. And so it's almost as if from this gunk or this mud can this blossom, this new actualization of love. And there's a sense that this is going to be very healing. And it's funny because it's this feeling of, it's not necessarily like a great gaping wound, but let's imagine somebody who has been in a car accident and there was so much, there were several things done to their body and they couldn't drive for a period of time, right? And before they could ever get back behind the wheel, they had to get their body ready, right? So the body is healed up, the wounds are healed up, right? But getting behind the wheel again, it's like when you get back in that driver's seat, all kinds of stuff fled back, right? The memories, how it felt, the panic, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like there's not a wound, but when spirit puts you in a position where you can be in the driver's seat again, you're in this energy. You're like, oh, I don't really know. Okay, so that's the grander view, because so you're just looking at, like, you're looking at it from the perspective of, like, I don't really know if I want, I'm just not drawn to it. Because you remember what it was like when you really wanted something. Like, the idea of it doesn't excite you necessarily. It feels very blasé. The details. What could you be missing? Like, I even think that you probably know. You're like, I'm sorry, spirit, I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm not, Like, what do I do if you bring in somebody? I'm like, oh, like, I can't just switch it like a switch. I can't just, flip, and I'm good. Maybe you can't, but I wonder if they can. We've all met, and this is any type of connection, we've all met the type of person where it's like they enter in our life and they just highlight an aspect of ourselves that we didn't see before, or they bring something to our life that we didn't have before. It's like they awaken us to something. It could be through just who they are as a person, or the knowledge that they share with you. And it's like we all have like met that person in our life that just touched a part of us that no one else had, right? Is that the detail you're missing? You just think that you're in such a place and energy that there's like, it's not going to light up. Like, it's not going to, you're so blasé about the idea or the notion of this. And they're like, you're forgetting one thing. There's a whole ass other person involved in this. Spirit involved in this. Maybe not everything's on you. I got questions. Okay, I am feeling. All right, are we gonna get something different with the Divine Doors? Has been showing up a lot lately, but they've been really speaking to me. Like, they're as frou-frou as they are. They tell a story that's completely different. Like, I can pick up on the energy and it just goes places. Let me just tell you that much. Okay. Oh, who are we talking about, y'all? 8 of y'all should be liking. LP, I love you. Right? There will be people that will like it, and then before the live is over, or as soon as it ends, they unlike it. I guess because I didn't do private readings. I don't know. Some people, let me tell you. All right, Spirit, what's going on here? I got tingles all down both my arms and my upper body. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. If this tingles for you, it's probably for you. Birth. Wait till you hear what it says. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. Forgive and forget. Oh, let me show you. A ritual cleansing of pain and lies. Arise and awaken, see a new sunrise. What the fuck? Did I say that this person, maybe they're the ones that can flip the switch? That maybe they're the key to that? Maybe they're the ones that can do that? Because you're looking at Spirit like, what do you want me to do? I don't got, like you're getting some kind of information. And you're like, and they're like, maybe that, like this person has the key for something. Now, this could be just that there's something in meeting this person that not even reawakens. Because it's literally like a ritual cleansing of pain and lies. You can't unknow or forget this. And we said that there'd be healing. And it's arise and awaken. Like something's being reawakened. Something's awakening in you. They're touching a part of you. Like I said that. And see a new sunrise. A new day is dawning. A new light is shed on this. Oh. Like this is a new opportunity. And tied in this healing is blessings for you. Hence why the bees, because the bees are all about luck and success and victory. That's where the honey comes from, right? Or that's what the honey, Okay, hold on. Okay. You're underestimating what encountering a sincere, genuine, integral, aligned soul can do for you. You're underestimating them. What the fuck? A stranger's grace. Ego fears the sudden danger. Five of Swords. Ego. But never underestimate the kindness of a loving stranger. Offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows. It's as if God, that's the tiny detail. They're like, you somehow think that you have, like, you're doing the heavy lifting here. You somehow think that this is a fortified wall. You're forgetting one tiny little detail. Bitch, I'm spirit. I know and understand the situation in all of its crevices and aspects. I get to see the behind the scenes. We know you're ready, despite you saying you ain't, and you're like ain't in it, and you're like, I'm changing my trajectory, and it just doesn't appeal to me right now. Okay. 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 So we won't see you light up then when this person comes in. Yeah. We have all encountered that person that can ignite hope in us again. That can we all can think of at least one person, even if it was in our chat, like there's like it happens. You're forgetting. because you're in that liminal space of you're not hating this, you're not wallowing in your pain, you're just like, I just can't see it, I can't fathom it, I can't feel it. You know, like I just, you don't see it as a possibility. Share more than expected and see love come around. Abundance lies in the heart that allows. And we've been talking about allowing, like wondering what we have to do. And it's like, allow it, receive it, right? Okay. 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 What do you want to say about that? What do you want to say? Not yet, they said. We're going to go with Lenormand really quick. The details. I can just see a motherfucker being like totally pissed if Spirit said like, oh, you think so? You wait till this person can't do that. I have my own free will. And da, 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 da. We've all been in that energy before where we weren't looking for something and we would tell our friends, and some motherfucker shows up. You was doing all great. And despite your best efforts to convince yourself that you didn't, you kind of liked them. It lit something up inside of you. They have commercials galore. They have TikToks galore where the person is like, if you're texting them, you start to smile and you're like, shit, and you throw your phone, right? It's that kind of energy. Like it sneaks in. Yeah, I ain't say it. Yeah, I say it. Okay. You only feel this way because this person hasn't arrived. That's the tiny detail, like my little Pooh Bear cup top. Only one little detail missing. Of course, you're looking at this going, oh, it's not complete. I almost knocked the motherfucker over. Look at it. And you're just thinking, maybe I should. What if, okay, I couldn't light the candle because I didn't have the lighter, right? I couldn't light this because I didn't have the lighter. Well, what if the lighter shows up? I couldn't walk out in the mud because I didn't have my other boot. But I even talked about how just one day, poof, the fucking boot shows up. Out of nowhere, like it just appeared out of another dimension. I'm telling you, I say shit sometimes I don't even know why I'm saying it. It comes out my mouth. And I think that they're like, because that tiny little detail hasn't showed up yet. We're going to watch your song and dance change. Well, I know that's going to piss somebody off. Like, you're going to try to dig your heels in. And it's like, go ahead. Go ahead. You don't know this detail. Remember I questioned that and they said, don't get ahead of yourself? They told me not to get ahead of myself. They told me to stop. I was like, wait, has this detail not emerged yet? Is that the reason why? And because it hasn't. Oh, how funny. Okay. Alrighty. The garden card. This is making connections. This is socializing. This is having fun. Getting out. Why are we talking about this? Okay, so remember when I said earlier I was giving out examples like you could just know that your person's not near you, like wherever you're located, they're just not here. It could very well be true. It could very well be true. We've got the mountain card, which can be distance, right? And I get the sense of this is, the dog card is all about like sincere connections, somebody loyal, trustworthy. But we also have like the 10 of Hearts over here. And while cartomancy is a little bit different, I'm still likening it to like the 10 of Cups energy. Like maybe whatever distance is between you and this person is going to be cut out. There's probably going to be some sort of meeting, some sort of coming together. Tell me about this. They're just not here. When they pop in, well, I bet that's going to piss you. I don't know why I feel that way. Are you fucking shitting me? I swear that's what it feels like. This person's going to pop in and everything that you was feeling, like it's something different. Like I feel like you're going to look at spirit and you're going to imagine them just having this smug look on their face like, it's a brand new beginning. But this is all about, okay, so we have two cards that could indicate distance, being like some kind of distance, whether it's just the fact that, they've not been in your life, they've not showed up. And so that's created this illusion of like them not being there. But whatever has stood in the way is being removed. But it could really be distance for you. There's something that happens that removes, because before this is cutting something away. It's like it's removed. The distance, or the thing that has created distance between the two of you not meeting, is being removed. Well, looky. We got the bees again. I just keep hearing like milk and honey. Like this shit's gonna be so sweet. There's gonna be healing in the touch that you share. There's just gonna be healing, period. I'm about to ask some questions on this premonition. I think some of y'all have received some details about how this is going to pan out. It may be the details kinds of like the fact that you know that your person doesn't live near you or close by in proximity. Like it would require forethought. You can't just swing by their house, like it would require a little bit of planning at least, like this feels like there's a bit of a distance between the two of you. So maybe that's the premonition, is that my person's not here. And I know that, and so when you hear, and then also you hear like you may know that you're going to meet them. And it's like, how? Because I know this to be true. And now you're telling me this. Now that makes sense. And I'm not even interested. So there you go. And you may just be, and poof, something happens. Because with it, we have like two exceptionally positive cards. This elevates the energy and the outlook of any reading. Like it just adds positive energy. And then this is about success and victory in it. Like this is going to be really fucking good. This is like your outlook is going to change. This is curious. Okay. I'm torn as to whether or not I should pull from that deck now. And even if it's not like, there's something about I'm going to ask about the premonition here in a minute, because there's something about that. You may not give it much weight, or you may just be like, yeah. Like that's what it feels like. Yeah. Like you just not interested. You're like, I don't care. Like something has come through for you and you're like, okay. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, Spirit. Like, I don't even feel drawn to it, excited by, like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like you would probably pass the person up because, like, you're so not in the mood for it. I'm tripping. I swear I'm tripping. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, I get it. Okay. I was tripping. If I just start talking, sometimes the shit comes through. So we've got the bees, the clovers, the luck. Like there's like the sheer fucking positive turn of events that occur, right? Positive events. Like whatever. The home card can be very much the home, but it is also like finding your place, remember I did a reading where I was like, somehow like the person feels like home, like there's a connection that comes that feels like that's how you would describe it. Like it wouldn't be, and it has nothing to do with how, if you're not feeling at home within yourself, it's just you've never found home in this world. And there is a sense of home with this person, right? That's the way it's coming across. And you are very protective of yourself, because the bear card is a little bit like mama bear energy, like Queen of Swords has her sword drawn type of energy. I'm trying to, okay, all I can keep saying, the word that only, the energy feels, and I keep saying, I'm trying to articulate the way that it feels, and it's like they're feeding me this. Like it's curious. It's something about this feels curious. Like not that somebody is curious, maybe somebody's curious in you. But there's like a, like, when something happens a certain way and somebody's telling you a story and you're like, well, that's just curious. Like the fact that it happened that way, it's got you a little perplexed. It's like, damn, didn't see that turn coming. Like, why isn't that just something? That's what it feels like. Can I just say, maybe, I don't know why this is coming out as well, but that your sense of like, okay, I feel like I'm looking at a table full of energy and I've got this here, this here, this here, this here, this here, this here, but it's like Swiss cheese. Like there's purposefully holes in it. And I'm sitting here really trying to fill into the energy to try and get the answer. Like sometimes I can dig in and actually go, oh, but it's almost like they're having me bob and weave between the holes. I'm like, are you trying to not tell them element? Like what is going, because you're guarded against communication that comes in and they're saying to stop that. Or your response, the way you communicate, is a bit guarded, maybe a bit aggressive, maybe a bit like off-putting, and they're like, stop it. All right, I need to understand this. I feel like if I understood your premonition a little bit more, I feel like there's information in that's going to help me understand this, because this feels like I'm missing a piece. It's the theme of the fucking reading, Shauna. Like the tiny detail is missing. Are they being cheeky and they're like, we're not going to tell you this one detail? Like, what the fuck? Like, there's always like some spin on this shit. Okay, tell me about the premonition. Just push me on this. There's something to this premonition. Like maybe you're overlooking, like the layers to some of these readings fucking kill me. All right, let me see if I can get in. For a third fucking time. A third fucking time. This is the tiny detail. This is the detail. Bees, bitches, bees. Well, you only get honey with a little bit of work. That's the other meaning of the bees. I'm going to look something up, guys. They're showing me the bees over and over again. And am I missing a tiny detail about this? Like I feel like there's just a whole little like going on behind my back. So we're going to look up the meaning of bees. We're just like, what am I missing? They represent characteristics of innovation, creativity, wisdom, community, and love. Hold on. I'm going to do some love meaning, the love meaning. I'm trying. If you've ever observed a bodacious bee bound upon a blossom, you can't deny its intense devotion. Delicately, yet with intense determination, the bee latches onto flowers, extracting their nectar. And then, why do I get such a innuendo of that? Then carrying it back to the hive for the commonwealth of the entire colony. It's about spreading love. The bee illustrates a kinship in love, a give and take with a focus on expanding and sharing the love on vast and varied levels. The bee reminds us that love cannot be constrained, contained, or controlled. Moreover, bee meaning and symbolism provide love lessons and shows how love is at its best when it is shared broadly and boldly. We've heard that several times in the last weeks. Deliberately and boldly. Okay. So I'm getting a sense of your abundance comes through, which we've had before, sharing love. But I feel like they're okay. So with the Three of Pentacles, which is what this is, the whole point of the Three of Pentacles is creating something to be shared with others. And the bee theme, that's probably why they were stuck on here, is that it's sharing that love with others. But it's also about the intensity of the draw, which they are saying. We've heard that. There's something about this person showing up. Yeah, and they haven't showed up yet. Like they're the tiny detail. This is what happens, guys. This is real time feeling into energies and things like that. Okay, so if it's too long of a pause, by all means, talk with yourselves. For some, I just cannot help to think that love and work are going to be entwined. Jesus, that scared the crap out of me. My phone buzzed. I feel like for somebody, there is a wrapping in of like, which may only make you buck more, but either work is what leads you to love, or somehow love is what leads you to work, and how it may be some kind of intricate detail that you may not like about it, with the resistance that you've got to like, I can't fathom. And like this incessant need it's not an incessant need. It's like they're showing me somebody who's bucking like love, in a sense of like, yeah, I just don't feel it. And but also like you've got a desire, and I think the premonition has something to do with the how tightly wound work may be to love, and how progression in one is so bound up in the other, that they're like, your quickest route is to just allow, and that this is how it's going to unfold. And you may not like the idea or notion of how it's going to unfold. If your premonition had anything to do with one connecting to the other, okay, like the idea and notion of the domino effect, like this is going to happen first, and you may be like, fuck no, it has to happen like this. And like there's another layer of resistance to the idea or notion. And some people would like, they want to feel like they've accomplished something on their own, and the idea of like their partner being the thing that connects them to something, you may feel like I get the sense of something about your work. Again, you can't fathom it. Let me show you what I've got. I've got the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles, you're going to build something for people to see, you know, like obviously people are going to be watching you. But I can't, like, even when, like they gave me the whole adage of like, that's where the honey comes from, is the bees working. Like when I was giving you like, it means success. Like they said work, but I was like, I don't feel this isn't about work. And then I felt it here again too. And I'm like, okay. And so when they're going to bring me out the fucking bees a third time, because bees are one of the hardest workers. You may be a person who either doesn't want to feel like any type of success hinges on who you're with or anything else like that. You want to feel independent of it. Or you may be the kind of person who doesn't like to mix business and pleasure. Like you like to keep your work life separate from, you know what I mean? And somehow they get entwined. And that might be where you're like, when you get the premonition, you're like, Because I feel like it's almost like, well, I'd rather not have it then. Nah. Like something about that doesn't sound appeasing. It doesn't draw you in. It doesn't, that kind of thing. Because then we have the torment card again. Like there's something about that gets you up in your head. But if whatever this is, it's like whatever your resistance, the source of your resistance is, okay? Like I just heard you can't have one without the other. Like there's a song that does that. And I don't feel like this is a sense of like your forward movement. They're intertwined. I'm just gonna fucking say it. It's intertwined. It's like not that it would ever not happen, not that you couldn't ever be successful, not that you couldn't get what you're wanting, but the plan is or what is in the works. And I've had this before. I feel like they're very entwined. And maybe you just want to focus on work and not love, and so you're like, ugh. Because here's the thing, like I don't feel resistance to the idea of expansion on whoever this is for. I don't feel resistance to expansion of work or anything work related, or like like a work opportunity come in. Or if it had just work, you'd be fine. The element of love being mixed in with this is and especially if your work hinges on meeting this, like what the fuck? Like I could, blah, like the lion would roar, right? Because your heart's in it when it comes to work, right? Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. That feels good to you. Queen of Cups. Okay, so I asked about that. We're narrowing it down, guys. Okay. Fuck me, I swear to fucking God. We got the message card again. Yeah. Oh, I get it. You're bucking on what Spirit's told you. This message card that's coming in is from Spirit. And you're not liking, you're like, and they're like, stop that. Like you're letting you're letting that detail get you. You're letting that detail. Okay. Some information is shared with you. I think it has everything to do with your finances. Your finance. Oh, that would piss me off too. Oh, the idea of like my sense of independence and success and everything being entwined with. Oh, look at this. So I think that some kind of work pathway, some successful pathway, you're not keen on. You don't fucking like it. You don't like this. And work might be the thing that bridges the distance. Okay, so here's the thing. Either meeting this person bridges the distance. Like there was a distance here. And that distance is being removed, right? And I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe the person is bridging the distance to meeting to your job. So like they are like the third party, the go-between, the thing that introduces you to the other thing that gets things going. And you may not like that, that came through. And so you're like, I'd rather not have it to Spirit. Or there's a sense of like, until you're open to love, because the whole point of like they're intertwined. Like work, maybe a work offer or work related, financial related something is the path. And the pathway card is all about distance in the Kipper deck, is the thing that bridges the distance between you and whatever that person. And it's like something about that is just, and maybe you're not pursuing, your resistance to the potentiality of love may be hindering this path with work. I fucking can't. All I can get is that it's very entwined. This took a turn. It fucking took a turn. No. We're gonna pull from the card. I'm gonna have to set this to 18 and over afterwards. Guys, this is how it be sometimes. If you stuck along this great, fantastic, okay? All right. All right. And I'm gonna ask some questions so I can find out. I want to make sure that people are not assuming this is them when it's okay. Talk to me. Okay, so the Kipper answered the question of like somehow you're resistant to the information that finances, like one path is entwined with the other, right? And there must be a need to just being open to how things flow because that's hindering both. So like your closing off to your heart space is impacting the unfolding in regards to maybe career, finances, things like that. And you're really resistant to that. And for some of you, those that are resistant to that, they may usher in love first because there's something about this person that ignites something in you. Like maybe okay, so maybe the notion that you're going to meet your person through work and you're like, oh, that's great, I just want the work part. And they're like, because of that, we're going to introduce the person first. Because if you're resistant to where that path leads, you may also create that resistance alone creates that vortex around you or that energy swirl around you where you don't want to go down that path at all. So that may be that resistance to what is on that path in addition to what you do want, may be creating resistance for you going down that path at all. For you to like the recognition of like, yeah. For some, they're switching it up then. Okay. Tell me about this. I don't understand. That would be me right there. I love the days where shit just is so smooth. It comes out and it's like, voila. Your lack of clarity right now comes from the anxiety you have in regards to whatever understanding that you have had. Okay? Like whatever download, premonition, whatever you fucking want to call it is. And it would make sense if, fuck, Your download, I said, is very connected to your lower 3 chakras, your root. So it's tied into your because the lower 3 would be the ruling of your sense of stability, your what creates your abundance in this world. Root is all about your stability and foundation and sense of security in life. Sacral, your sense of like your sensuality and sexuality and inner power and creativity, your feminine aspect, right? And then the solar is all about your drive, your willpower, your confidence, your determination. So we have the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and then flanking the world. Your worries, concerns, or resistance to this is preventing that gateway from opening up. I feel like, because we did see in the beginning that somehow this person is connected to a gateway. So if you're resistant to the idea of going down a path because somehow love was meant for you kind of thing, and you're like, I only want love, they're going to bring in, I feel like the thing is, it's like maybe love may enter in before, and that may annoy the living shit out of you. Like for some people, the person may enter in and somehow they are connected. They help to be the bridge, whether it's because they ignite and awaken something inside of you that's connected with your sense of power and follow through. But it's connected to, this is a gateway. The world card would be the gateway. This is all the opportunities coming in. So your resistance to that, whatever premonition it was, or the idea and notion that love is somehow entwined in all of this, that like love is coming and you're like, no, the fuck it ain't, like that is stopping you. And maybe the thing that you don't realize is how entwined they are. Because maybe you don't realize that the two things you were once manifesting were going to come in so intertwined and connected. Like some people think that the human brain separates. Damn, this is such a choppy fucking reading. I can't stand that kind of energy. Like you're over here thinking like, hey, this is, I'm doing these things for work and I'm doing these things for this. And like, you may not fathom how much, whoever you are, your work and finances can be melded into your love life. There is an intertwining here, is all I gotta fucking say. And that resistance is hindering something opening up. And you're having a lot of worry and concern and confusion around this new beginning. It's like whatever you received, you're like, oh, no. Because of the element of love being wrapped in it. I know it has everything to do with that. There's a resistance to that. There's a resistance to whatever it is. We have the King of Wands and the Knave of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. This person, they are like, they're gunning for you. King of Swords knows, or King of Wands knows exactly what he fucking wants. He has a desire for it, and he goes after it. Like he desires that. And we talked about the intensity that was going to be here earlier in the reading. Like bees has this, it's a level of intensity. Like you may not like whatever the first domino is that has to be whatever for things to unfold. Let's say that you're financially unstable and somehow that creates instability within you, and you can't fathom the idea of love coming in first. You're like, I want to feel strong and stable and secure prior to that. It's like you may feel like you don't have the time or capacity to focus on something like that. And so your heart is shielded against it. And like the idea of love being the thing that comes in first before you have your life in fucking order is like, mm-mm. And they're like, but we thought you wanted to expedite, like, this is going to awaken something and be the bridge to that. And you're like, and maybe your sense of independence and programming is coming in. And it's like, I don't want that to be tied to that. Like, why does one have to be dependent on another? But there's a level, what the fuck? There's a level of intensity. Like this person has, funny thing with this Page of Swords is like there's this lack of communication or understanding, but despite whatever your current circumstances are, this individual is very drawn to you. They like what they see. And I know this is a Six of Cups, but this is giving me the energy of the Star card, where she's staring at these two people right here. This is why I say it's so curious. She's staring at these two people right here, guys. Like that's a part of the Five of Cups energy, but she has this scroll down here. And it's a sense of like maybe coming to terms with how things happened in the past, because the scroll has like, okay, they're showing something. It's like it's tied, right? Like it's like you don't recognize a part how tied up. You don't recognize how this is a part of your destiny. Okay, how entwined it is, right? Because while you're in this energy of but everything else before, they're like there's an element you don't know that's written on the scroll that's a part like tied with the string of fate, destiny. And back here they keep saying, so maybe it's not that, maybe your dissatisfaction isn't necessarily with it could be because of how love has, whatever, but you may just be completely utterly dissatisfied with the state of your life at this point, like your finances and your trajectory, and feeling like there's a lots of failure and focusing on that and how this is not the time for that to happen. And so you're like, no to love, no to whatever. I'm not doing that because it's like, I don't feel good and solid within myself. And I want to feel good and solid within myself before I come in to something with somebody else. It's not my focus, because over here we have the fucking lotus that we pointed out. The lotus, like blooming from the mud. I don't know. It's not a plant. It's floating in the water back there. Can you see? Shit, fire save the matches. Just God. This camera will autocorrect and focus when it wants to, but that's what it is. It's bringing me back to that lotus. The Ace of Cups, the fucking Ace of Cups. They're saying out of this circumstance. So you feel like, I don't give a fuck what it is, your conditions in your life are not conducive to things playing out this way, okay? For things coming in a certain way, which we talked about being too attached, right? Your feminine is attached to its creation yesterday. And so it's like, and that's creating, blockages for the masculine. This could play out external. What you're experiencing internal plays out external, right? And so like there's this sense of they desire you no matter the fuck what. Like he wants to envelop this feminine. Okay. And so it's like it has like it's but I don't think that the feminine is as open. But he loves what he sees. And we're saying he just because it's represented by a king and things like that. And they're saying you don't understand. It's from this circumstance. Maybe you're like, I wouldn't touch a person in my situation with a 10-foot fucking pole. And you can't fathom how, in your current circumstance, now is the right fucking time of all time. But okay, no thank you, Spirit. If part of your download is like, oh, well, that's how you get to your career path, or how you get to, then you're like, I can't stand, especially if you're feminine, like a lot of us can't stand the idea of the man or the masculine energy being the thing that connects us. I'm strong enough all on my own. I can do it on my own. You may be over here for those where it's not necessarily the shit show of your life, but you're like, look, I just don't think I'm right now. Maybe it is all the history of love that's got you mentally up in your head and stuff like that, and you're looking at the five, and they're like, Five of Cups, turn around, your future's this way, kind of thing. And then there's the Two of Cups. Like, whoever this is, the next step for you is love, whether you fucking like it or not. I'm solid on that now. Like, I'm looking at all of this, and my confusion is because of your motherfucking confusion and your resistance. I'm experiencing you. Like, I'm trying to figure out the message and how it's going to work out. And no, this can't be it. And that's what you're fucking doing. When I start on a roll, that's when I know I hit the energy. And they're like, ding, 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 ding. Because then it just starts coming and flowing. Yeah, I step the fuck out of your energy, and I get to see, I understand. Whether it's because of your current circumstances, your financial situations, whatever, you have gotten the whole idea, and you're resistant to it. You're fucking resistant to it. Okay? But you just don't see this. It's out of this muck or this mud. Like this offer, this love, because that's the Knight of Cups. Like, this motherfucker is willing to join you. I feel like he's going to crawl off of this damn horse and come in there with you. Look at her holding her like, I feel like the Grinch right now. The Grinch when what's her name? Mary, whatever her name is. Not Martha Mayhew. Martha Mayhew, yes. When Martha, and she's like, I've fallen in love with another, and she's looking at the Grinch, and he's like, what? And he can't fucking fathom it, right? That's the energy I'm getting. She's like you might be questioning, like, what? Okay, you fell in love with this shit show? There gotta be something wrong with you. Gotta be something wrong. Like, it's like that. There's a resistance to it. You've got it pictured a certain fucking way. You don't like the premonition. And I think that you ran from it. And little do you fucking know, that's like, if there's truth, like, you're just like, something came through, some kind of download, something hit you. And whatever it is, hella connects all three of those chakras together. Like, it's very firmly planted in this. It's like love, sensuality, confidence, all kinds of stuff wrapped up in one. Like, it's targeting all them bitches at the same fucking time. And you're just like, I don't really know. I don't know. And your resistance, and they're over here like, it's going to be way better than what you fucking think. Like, it's going to feel intense. It's going to, like, it's going to create, it's going to collapse gaps between you and something else. And whatever it is, just FYI, so that you know, because I do see, like, if this person is at a distance, guess what, bitch? That distance is collapsing. It, like, whatever was between you and this is being removed. And while you may be of the mind that that's just not something you're remotely fucking interested in, like, you can't fathom how that's, like, you're like, like, that didn't even feel good. Like, I'm not even, like, lit up by it. and here's the thing. When home reaches out to you, I feel like this, like, they're like, don't you act like this. Don't fucking do that shit. You're just resistant to it. You're resistant to it. You feel like your heart feels good, like you're okay. If it's just work, you're feeling good. You add love into this situation, and now you're tormented, bitch. Now you're up in your head. You can't fathom how this is going to play out. We got the Hierophant here. The level at which this will go. It's like love opens up a new gateway. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. This person is the key to awakening something in you, to the last little minuscule bit of healing. And yes, they are probably the tipping point for the domino effect that's meant to happen. And your resistance to this is a resistance to this new world opening up to you. Even when I do personal readings, guys, I have had difficulty sometimes with individuals trying to read their energy because they may be so, if you have a resistance to a particular message, like I'll be open to anything, but if I hear anything like that, like spirit may already know. And like you, so here's the thing, I can try and I will scrounge. Sometimes I spend an hour doing a personal reading for somebody just to get through it because I'm like, no, this, like there's something here. I'm getting bits and pieces. I'm getting this, that, and the other. It's real choppy. It's like, that's because of the resistant energy. But I'll fucking get through because 9 times out of 10, it's a message that either you don't want to hear or you've already told spirit you're not willing to hear, or that you have turned a blind eye, like, you know, and that's the thing that spirit's like, no, we're gonna have a conversation about this. I'm gonna tell you what you don't want to hear. It could be an area of life that you just like, I'm not even focusing on it. Don't even come to me with it. And I've had people ask about it. And still their energy is real resistant to it. It's so funny. But when that dam breaks, like there's a connection. A connection is meant to be. And it's exceptionally, we've got the sudden wealth card and these two, which are exceptionally positive, successful. I think work is related and tied into this. And you're not okay with that. You're not okay with that. You don't know how true your vision or premonition is, or that message, that download, whatever it was that you got is. And they're saying, you know, just allow, if your abundance lies, your financial security lies in the heart that allows. And therefore, while they were talking about opening up your heart chakra and how that was necessary for what was to come, like it was blocking everything. And for some of you, it really fucking it is. And you may be arguing, well, why does it have to be tied up like that? Why do the two of them have to be so connected? And I ain't here to tell you, well, maybe I am. Like I was going to try to say, and they corrected me. I was going to try to say, look, you know, this person just meant to awaken this. Maybe it's not going to be something long-term. Bitch, we had the Hierophant out here. So right next to the love offer, right next to the Knight of Cups. And I'm not even getting, I gotta be honest with you. Like, you know, you got some readers out there with all these different like soulmate, twin flame thingy dingy dingies, and they're like, you've got a mission together. And we do have the Three of Pentacles, right? Which is about creating something for the world to see. But it's also like the two of you create the foundation to build something you're the rest of your life from. Like and I hate to put it on that. Because I know there's people that will try to twist that shit around and be like, oh, that's why I've got to wait for this really toxic something or other because they're the key to everything. Here's the thing. You know the difference between you and them people? Whoever's thinking that, you're not codependent. You're like, no. if you're hinged on, yes, that's me because we're supposed to do it. And I'm not trying to say that there aren't people who have connections that are meant to come together and do something in their life together, that their life, what they do and build in their life and it impacts others, they do together. Like there's lots of people where that happens. But I'm talking about the people who are so attached to this very specific narrative that their life purpose is to, like, them and their person is going to have, like, and it crosses the line into a very codependent energy. I can tell that ain't you, because at no point does that seem appealing. You're like, no. No. You've got, these people are like, finally, like, I swear to God, it's like they've left their life on hold because they can't start their purpose until the person comes in, kind of thing. Like that's the way, and I'm like, that's not, if that's you, this is not your message. I fucking tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, because this person at no motherfucking point, at no point is like, yay! This person's ready to gung-ho go it themselves and is like, I'm ready to do X, Y, and Z. And when that kind of a message comes through, they're like, no. They're not drawn to that. Right? Their ego isn't so attached to that notion. Their ego is attached to something else. The need to have to do it alone. That's how you know if this is for you. That's how you know. Or if you're like you don't want the two mixing. Like you don't want one thing to be dependent on the other. That would then that's a better also another indication it might be for you. And I can't help it. No matter which way I went with this, whatever direction, it brought me back to the idea and the notion that this person awakens something in you. Like you think one way and you think that you're going to be able to create the parameters and you think it should go like this. And you're like, I'm too resistant to it, Spirit. I don't know. I'm not drawn to it. I'm not this, that, and the other. And Spirit's like, so you think? You're forgetting one little detail. You're not the only person involved in this situation. And you haven't met them yet. So. You're forgetting one little detail. Oh, here you're watching it. Anywho, that was like rough, people. I love it when I'm in the flow and that shit just comes out like poetically and everything. And I'm like, God dang, whoever this is. You have hell to the no, is what you said. And I swear to you, I think the Spirit's like, okay. And that's what you think. I get the energy. This motherfucker, whatever was keeping the two of you separate, and maybe you needed to get to this place because whatever, it's like you're not. I don't feel like an argument with Spirit. You're just like whatever came through to you. You're like no, and you're trying to go the opposite direction. And like okay, almost as if that's how they know that you're ready. You don't have that attachment that it has to be like there's not this codependence. Like you are solid in yourself. Like I don't know. Maybe you're really determined, like, for certain that this is something you want to do. Like, you're just, I don't know. They know that you're ready. You may not think that you may be like, no. And they're like, you're forgetting one little detail. Okay. I'm sorry. I missed your let's see here. Every breakup, I usually feel like Shrek, get out of my fucking swamp energy. Now I'm open, so it'll be interesting. Take me to your home planet. Gosh, so me. I just don't like the idea of getting help from my partner to reach somewhere. It's that feeling, what if he feels I'm good for nothing, so I should be completely independent before allowing someone in my life? Or sometimes for some people, it's about proving it to themselves. Like, if you've got the Five of Cups energy where a lot of shit has gone wrong, it's like you don't want to feel dependent on someone else. Like the only reason you have good things happening in your life is because somebody else has to usher it in. You want to feel achieved in that on your own. And so and so that may be where the conflict comes in. Like, but I can tell you, I don't care what this person may say out their mouth, their energy is not open to it. Or just doesn't like. I want to, because I feel like sometimes I make it sound like you're arguing with spirit, and I'm like, that's not what you're doing. You're just like even you would admit, like, I don't know, it didn't feel right to me. Like that doesn't even feel good. Whatever came through, whatever premonition, whatever download, you're like, almost like there's a bit of a resistance, and you're just like, I'm sorry, spirit, but there's nothing about that feels like I don't want it. And if it presents itself, I probably won't. I probably won't. And it's like, you hate to feel like ungrateful for something great, but you can't fathom it. You don't feel connected to the download. You don't feel like you don't feel anything with that. Whoever it's for. When I say you, it's whoever I'm reading for. Spirit is like, my therapist. What's your sore spot? Let's explore that while I'm throwing shiny objects and distractions to get me into the deep trouble. like we're little kids, right? Oh, this is the biggest fear that spirit is asking me to work on. Manishka, and I'm not trying to fill in the gaps, but there was a repeating message that came through every time we talked about how you would connect to your work. And there's always a third party energy who recognized you, would connect you to somebody else who recognized you because of your personality and thought you would be great for something. And it felt like a connection in your everyday life, right? Remember they showed me like that vision of like connecting in a coffee shop or connecting on something where it was like whatever this person put you in, it wouldn't be the direct person hiring, but would put you in connection with. Remember, it was like we kept feeling that. And so it felt more of a everyday life connection that took you there. That has been a theme in a solid 3 to 4 readings for you whenever we go back to that. Just throwing it out there. I'm not saying shifts and changes, but it's funny, isn't it? How that is like and maybe your resistance to hearing that it was going to be love, they didn't touch on it. They didn't say, because I never got a love piece, but there was that theme. And it always seemed to show up. And I'm like, why does this feel like deja vu? We've already talked about this. Wow, LP, you're a Sag sun and moon. This is why we get along, LP, because my moon is Sag and my rising is Leo. You are a fucking spitfire. You're you're a lot of fire. You're a lot of fire. Like the moon is like your subconscious element that's driving you. Oh shit. Guys, I have a meeting I've got to do. Damn, I always like to process afterwards, and this is how. Okay. Oh, I know. Gosh. See, and pink flower, I'm just going to say to that, like the need to learn to receive and being okay with that is sometimes we're like, oh, I'm okay with receiving, but then we have these parameters around it, but not like this. Well, why not like that? So when we talk about maybe love being the connecting factor or being that bridge that pulls something out or like being the starting domino, it's like something goes off in us, right? But anyways, my bad. I have to hop off, guys, because I've got an appointment coming up in the next few minutes. And so I have to take care of that. So I need to go pee before I do that. So, alrighty. All right. Well, I'm going to hop off. I hope y'all have a great day. And maybe tomorrow's reading or whatever is going to feel a little more smooth. Because good God. All right. Y'all have a fantastic day, okay?